Right, welcome guys. So this is now episode 2 in our Forex Foundation series. So now in today's lesson, we're going to be going over everything to do with timing in the Forex markets. So today I'll be teaching you the most profitable trading sessions in Forex. Now, before we do get into that, if you come on over to the presentation overview, you can see that we'll be talking about the timings of the market. So this is to do with what times the market open and close throughout the week. Then we'll start discussing sessions, and in particular the best sessions to be trading and to be capitalizing off. And then ultimately we'll be discussing fundamentals. Now fundamentals basically comes down to news events and the timing of those news events to know when to stay out, when to capitalize off those volatile movements. So it's everything to do with timing. Now, why is this important? Why are we going to learn this? Now, the piece of information I'll be going through in this presentation will help you add extra confluences to your trading strategy. This will help you increase your accuracy and to be able to capitalize off big moves often. Now, this will also prevent you from taking unnecessary losses during uncertain market states. So when the market is very volatile due to fundamental news coming out and there's uncertainty in the markets and the technicals may not be necessarily making sense with the fundamentals, because high volatile news can break any level that comes in its way, it will be best to be staying out the markets and to prevent unnecessary losses and slippages from happening. Now, if we come on over to the timings of the market, the Forex market is open 24/5, meaning it's open from Sunday 10 p.m. to Friday 10 p.m. GMT. So this is London timings. Now, just because it's open 5 days a week, it doesn't mean we need to be taking trades during that entire period. There's key moments when you should be taking trades, and within that time frame of 5 days, there's periods of high and low volume. So you want to be in the markets when there's high volume, so you're able to capitalize off the move and you're not just stuck in a consolidation in a range. Now, when are those high volume moments? Those moments happen during sessions. Now, sessions typically are periods of high volume which occur during 3 main sessions, which are the Tokyo, London, and New York. Now, this will all happen within a 24-hour period. So if you look at the table at the bottom, you can see again GMT time. So this is London-based times. You can see London session will start at 8 a.m. and will continue to go until around 3 to 4 p.m. Now, at that same time, at 1 p.m. is the start of New York session. Now, during 1 p.m. to around 3 to 4 p.m., this is where we call the London-New York overlap. This is when we tend to have the most volume in the market, because you've got 2 high volume sessions in play at the same time. So you would tend to see a lot of volume coming in during 1 to 2 p.m. Now, if we move on over, we will focus more on the Tokyo session, as that is more of a bigger session, which will usually occur around the midnight region, all the way until 8 a.m. the next day. Now, since I mainly trade New York session, we'll be focusing on New York session a lot more in this presentation, and it's because New York session brings the most amount of volume. If we're focusing on the highest profitability session, I personally trade New York session between 1 p.m. to around 3:30, 4 p.m. This is my session timing, and I'll be looking to take trades and get out of the market during this intraday session timing. Now, you can look to take trades during London session or even Tokyo session if it suits your schedule better, but I will highly advise sticking to New York session as it has the best moves occurring during that time. Now, lastly, we'll move over onto fundamentals. Why exactly am I discussing fundamentals in a timing video? Because fundamentals are also time dependent. You will have certain news releases consistently during certain days and during certain times of the day. So it's important to know when exactly these news events are coming out, so you're able to capitalize off of that. Now, fundamentals are relating to news events which occur and may impact a currency. So fundamentals can occur from many different countries, such as the dollar, the pound, the yen, as we was discussing. You can also have the Australian dollar. Any currency will have some sort of fundamental news, Now, the main focus of our fundamental insight will be on the dollar, as we'll be trading New York session and we'll be trading dollar related pairs. So I'll go over that more in detail in a bit. Now, moving on over to the second bullet point, we can use Forex Factory to find out when exactly these news events may be released. So Forex Factory is a website which I'll again show you guys in a bit, and this will tell you all the news events that will be occurring for all the different currency pairs. So you can choose the ones which are relevant to you and stick to those. Now, knowing exactly when those news events will occur will help you determine the high impact news event. Now, the high impact news events are usually the red folder news which are in the Forex Factory. Now, the red folder news events are the ones which we want to pay the most attention to, because they will be the most volatile in the markets. Now, CPI, FOMC and NFP are the three major news events which occur for the dollar, and CPI can also occur for all the other currencies as well, as it's to do with inflation. But these three news events are very important, and I usually tend to stay out of the markets when these news events are occurring for the dollar, because price is very volatile, very erratic, and you have a high chance of getting slipped if you are in a trade. So it's very important to be careful and vigilant of that. Now, if you come on over to Forex Factory, you can just look on the top left. It says www.forexfactory.com, and once you come on over to Forex Factory, you can see the following in front of you. Now, as you can see, you have many different currencies. Now, depending on the currencies you are trading, you will only be choosing the relevant ones to yourself. For example, me personally, I usually trade dollar currencies, pound currencies, Japanese yen currencies. So for me, the most relevant ones will be those ones. As you can see, euro as well, I also trade euro, so these will be important. However, since I'm only trading during New York session, which is between 1 to like 3-4 p.m, I'm only going to be focusing on that specific time, because if a news event occurs during 2 a.m, I'm asleep at that time, so I don't really care. It's just irrelevant information to me at that time. Now, you can still monitor it to see the performance to determine how it may impact the currency's technical analysis, but for me, I mainly focus on when to stay out of the markets during these news events, so I'm not getting manipulated by the fundamental news which may come out. So as you can see here, today is Wednesday the 27th of September, around 1:30 we did have dollar news. However, you can see it was just orange folder news. Now, the ones which I mainly pay attention to are red folder news, as you can see over here. So if you come on over to the next day, which is tomorrow, you can see at 1:30 we've got dollar news, which is the currency, and we've got red folder news for the dollar at 1:30. So there's a higher chance that price will be a bit more volatile. There'll be a bit more volume in the markets during 1:30 at this time. But I still trade during these periods of times because it's not as volatile. If anything, the fundamentals usually align with the technicals, and so this is just the fuel to push the market in the direction I was already predicting anyways. But when it comes to FOMC, NFP and CPI, like I've mentioned previously, that's when you want to stay out of the market, because price becomes very, very erratic and very scary to be in a position at that time, from my own personal experience. So that's pretty much it in terms of the timings. That's just a basic overview. I would recommend you guys to definitely try and implement sessions into your trading if you haven't already. Do try to trade in one of the three sessions which I've highlighted. I would highly recommend the London and New York overlap, but if it doesn't suit your schedule, London and New York are also pretty good and profitable session times. And I'll also recommend you guys to definitely take into consideration the fundamentals and just stay out during these three main volatile red folder news events. And for the other red folder news events, you can stay in and just simply widen your stop loss by a couple pips to prevent being slipped. So other than that, guys, that wraps up episode 2. I hope you guys did find it informative. If you did, be sure to drop it in the comment section down below that it was helpful. Also, like the video and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And other than that, I'll see you guys next time.